God, I thank you for waking me up this morning and getting me started so that I can have another opportunity to spend time with you, spend time with your word. God, I ask that you would give me clarity and understanding as I embark on another day of understanding your word, God, that you would give me revelation and that it would be something pleasing to you, God, first, and that you get the glory out of this, and that anybody that is listening or watching, that they also be impacted in their lives, and that they will increase their desire to learn your word and to honor your will, and just get as much clarity and revelation for themselves as well. God, I thank you. I trust you and I believe your word. In your son Jesus' name, amen. So today, so today I'm gonna do something a little different. Today I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm going to talk while I am reading because I don't know, just wanted to change it up a little bit. I think that I can get through this in 30 minutes or less. I'm not sure. We're going to try. Today, first I'm going to go through the actual devotional to see what the plan is, and then I'll do my reading and talk about what I'm reading as I go along. Okay, so this is week 2. This is day 2 of week 2. Giving up is not an option, okay? Have you ever just wanted to kick yourself for giving up too soon on a goal? For example, maybe you told yourself you didn't have time to go back to school and complete that degree, even though you were only a few credits shy of graduating. I know, life happened. You had financial struggles, were caring for an ailing loved one, or had kids, and you had to put your dreams on the back burner. So you gave up and told yourself that it was just too late for you. In Genesis 35, Rachel died before reaching her promise. If you've been keeping up with the readings, you know that in Genesis 30, Rachel grieved over the fact that she couldn't have a child. So I'm not quite at Genesis 30 yet. I'm just at 26. Rachel grieved over the fact that she couldn't have a child. Her sister Leah was fruitful, but Rachel was unable to conceive, which caused her much heartache. But God finally blessed Rachel with a son, whom she named Joseph. After experiencing this miracle, she immediately spoke a prophetic word into her own life and said that she would have another son. She had faith that God could do it again. However, Rachel made a mistake. She didn't have enough faith to put God completely first and stop worshiping idols, and it brought her down. In Genesis 31, she stole her father's idols from his house when she left with Jacob. When her father came looking for the idols, Jacob called for the death of the person who had stolen them, not knowing Rachel was the culprit. She did get pregnant again and began to go into labor, hard labor, according to Genesis 35. But because of the intense labor pain brought on by her disobedience, she died in childbirth. She was so close to her destination, but she died. The baby was successfully delivered. The miracle still came, but Rachel couldn't enjoy the fruit of her labor. My dear sister, giving up is not an option. No matter how difficult the journey, you have amazing goals and dreams. Please do not let those dreams die. Please know that somebody is waiting on what is to come through you. They are waiting on a mentorship, a book, or a business that has to be birthed through you. So pick those dreams back up, dust them off, and get back on track. You are much closer than you think. That was absolutely for me because I started writing my book. What did it say? I started writing my book. I just signed up for a mentorship with young children. I'm not sure if it's young ladies or young boys. I don't know. But I just started out with a mentorship. I'm working on my business. I get discouraged often. It's just so many things that I have going on, and it's always overwhelming, it seems. And then sometimes I feel inadequate, and sometimes I feel like I'm alone doing it by myself. But this is confirmation and affirmation for me to keep going, keep pushing, even though it may seem hard and it may seem like I'm by myself. That right there was definitely for me. So today I am reading chapter 26 through 29. Okay? And again, I'm reading from the New International Version of the Bible. This starts out with Isaac and Abimelech in chapter 26. Then 27 talks about Jacob taking Esau's blessing. 28 is about Jacob's dream at Bethel, and then 29 is where Jacob arrives in Padan Aram. Okay. Okay, so right off the bat, Isaac is out here doing the exact same thing that his father did. He is telling the people in Gerar that Rebekah was his sister, because he said that she was so beautiful that he was scared that the people would kill him just to get to her. That's exactly what Abraham did with Sarah. Even though Abraham and Sarah were siblings, Isaac and Rebekah are not. They come from the same family and the same kinship, but they're not brother and sister. So he is doing the exact same thing that his father did, and people just never learn. And Abimelech did the same thing for his father. Like, he had the same issue with Abraham. It's the same king, Abimelech. Like, before Abraham died, that was the same issue with him and Sarah, because Abimelech had taken Sarah. Now Abimelech is having to intercede on behalf of his people, because Isaac did the same thing with Rebekah to the men in Abimelech's country. So he basically had to put out a decree that nobody could harm Isaac or Rebekah, because if they had taken her, they would have put a curse and guilt, and something really bad would have fallen on their households. Oh, and the people was jealous of him because he was so wealthy. He had so much land that they filled up his wells with dirt. Like, so because his land was so fruitful and he was getting so wealthy, even though that was a part of his promise, they filled up his land with dirt. And Abimelech made him move because he said he was getting too powerful. That's shady. Okay, Esau out here marrying people. He got 2 wives. He married, at 40, he married Judah and Basemeth. I don't know how to say her name. Basemeth. That's what it said. That's what it looked like. Wow. But they both were Hittites. Isaac lost his sight when he got old. This is where Esau and Jacob tricked their father into giving Esau the birthright. Rebekah was scheming too. She was telling Jacob to go and do the things that Isaac told Esau to do so that Jacob could receive the blessing. But I thought Jacob was the older one and Esau was the younger one. I gotta read again. Okay, Jacob was the younger son, not Esau. She put goat skin on her son so that he could feel like Esau, because Esau was hairy and Jacob didn't have as much hair on his like arms and stuff. So she put goat skin on him so that he could feel like, well, these people are shady in this book. Wow. So Esau had already given his birthright up to Jacob. So now he's crying because Jacob had tricked his father into giving Jacob's blessing. Giving Esau's blessing to Jacob as well. So Esau is saying, well, Dad, you only have one blessing for me. You can't bless me too. You only have one blessing to give. Bless me too. Please bless me too. And he's like, no, you're going to live by the sword. Your life is going to be hard. And eventually you'll get tired of it and you're going to throw off the yoke, of your brother. But you won't live in richness. You won't live in heaven's dew. You're going to live by the sword. And your brother tricked me, and I gave him everything, and you have to serve him. So Esau is not happy. He had a grudge against Jacob, and he vowed that after his father died, he would kill his brother Jacob. This is scandalous. So then Rebekah, Rebekah was the root of all this foolishness that was going on. So she also was like tired of Esau's wives. She was like, if Jacob takes a wife, he better not take it from none of the Hittite women, because if she did, she would be ready to die. Like she would just die if he took up with the Hittite women. And Isaac told Jacob not to marry a Canaanite woman. He had to go to Padan Aram, to where his mother came from, to get a wife, because he didn't want any of those Hittite women to be Jacob's wives. So Esau also realized how displeasing the Canaanite women were to Isaac, so he went to Ishmael and married Mahalath, a Canaanite woman, which was Isaac's brother, one of his daughters. So he basically married his cousin from the bad side, to add to the wives he already had that they couldn't stand. God gave Jacob a dream, and the dream basically reaffirmed the covenant that he made with Abraham, that Abraham and Isaac, that his children would be countless, and that he would make nations, and he would be with him, and he would bless him, and he would cover him and keep him. And after he had that dream, he realized that God was in the place that he was at, which was, what is it called? Padan Aram. And so the stone that he used to sleep on, he had then put it on a pillar and set it as an offering place, to anoint it with oil, and basically note it as being the place where God dwelled, and he called it Bethel. And I go to a church called Bethel because God does definitely dwell there. Okay. Laban deceives Jacob by giving him Leah after he worked for him for 7 years. He said, I will work for you for 7 years if I can marry Rachel. And Laban was like, okay, do that. He did it. He had a feast, and then he gave, I don't know how he didn't know it was Leah the night that they were having sex. Like, I don't know, when they consummated their marriage, I don't know how he didn't know, because he didn't know until the next morning. So I'm not sure. And they say she had weak eyes. I don't know what that means. Does it mean she had cross eyes? Like, was she ugly? I don't know. But Laban did him dirty. He made him work 7 years for Rachel, but he got Leah in return. And then he tell him he has to finish the marriage week and then work another 7 years, and then he'll give him Rachel. So he also gave him Zilpah and Zika, I think it's called. Zilpah, Bilhah, to his daughter Rachel as her attendant. Jacob made love to Rachel also, and his love for Rachel was greater than his love for Leah, and he worked for Laban another 7 years. So he basically gave him 14 years. So Leah got pregnant, but Rachel could not. So she had Reuben and Simeon, and on the third son, she thought that Jacob would love her, but no ma'am. But he gave her Levi. And on the fourth son, she named him Judah, and that was the last son that she had. So that's basically the end of the reading that I had for this week. Today. It was eye-opening that so much deceit and envy and jealousy and hurt and generational curses and things just keep happening over and over is you see Abraham and Sarah did the deceit with Abimelech, and then now not Isaac, Jacob and Rachel, no, Isaac and Rebekah did the same thing, and maybe they couldn't. They didn't know what their father had done before, so it was just funny to see that they had literally did the same thing. It must have been really bad in those days where people were really killing people over beautiful women. So it's sad that they had to do that, but you could see that both the the generations had done the exact same things to basically protect themselves or to shield their family. But I can't wait to see what happens with Rachel. No, yeah, with Rachel, with Jacob and Rachel, because I feel like I remember the stories about Jacob and Rachel and Leah, but it's not readily coming back to me. I mean, the part about Leah having the 4 sons and naming them, and her having the sons hoping that Jacob would love her. I remember that a little bit, but I don't remember much beyond that. So hopefully this will like trigger something to remind me of what I learned when I was in Christian school, in elementary and junior high school. But that's it for today. I hope that today was good and that you got something from this like I did. It was very exciting to me, and I will catch you guys on tomorrow. Peace.